So, if you want a little more insight into the great Alex Van Halen, stay tuned. Welcome. On this video, we're going to take a look at the great Alex Van Halen's playing on the song Out of Love, as found on the album Van Halen 2. But before we get into it, please click the red subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you're aware of every time I upload a new video. Alex Van Halen was born on May 8th, 1953 in Amsterdam, Holland. His younger brother, Edward, the great guitar player, was born a year and 9 months later and sadly passed away on October 6, 2020. He will be sorely missed. The brothers emigrated to California around when Alex was 9 years old and formed a really strong bond because they couldn't speak English yet and had to navigate the United States as kids very early. Their parents got them playing music very quickly in their lives. They both played piano, Alex and Eddie. In fact, Alex played for about 16 years. Alex also played saxophone and violin. And Edward also played the drums. In fact, the story goes like this. Eddie went out and bought a $125 drum set and was practicing away. And Alex was playing guitar, classical guitar, and didn't really take to it. Was very good, he could play, but didn't really dig it that much. Eventually, they switched because Alex kept practicing the drums and Edward kept practicing guitar. So they switched places. They even formed a little band called the Broken Combs when they were kids. And they used to also play on the breaks of their father's gigs, where they were introduced the hard way to the music business. After Alex graduated from City College, actually Pasadena High School, I should say, he went into Pasadena City College, where he studied arranging, orchestration, theory, and composition. He also met his future bandmates, David Lee Roth and Michael Anthony. They left Pasadena City College to form the band Mammoth with Edward. They had a couple other bands before that, at least Alex was in a couple other bands before that, one called the Trojan Rubber Company. Yeah, clever name. And the Space Brothers and Mammoth. Yeah, right? These names. As a drummer, he was influenced by Ginger Baker, John Bonham, Billy Cobham, and Buddy Rich. He really got a lot out of Buddy Rich's playing. Well, we all did, really. In 1977, they got their first record contract with Warner Brothers, where that great album, Van Halen, was released a year later, 1978. On that record, I think that Edward's playing on guitar was so outstanding, so virtuosic and revolutionary that it really overshadowed Alex, in my opinion. Although Alex Van Halen's playing is blazing on that first record. It wasn't until the second record where I think people really took notice, at least in the studio context, because they've been playing live shows and tearing it up, all along that period. I saw them in the early 80s, and I got to tell you, it's one of the best rock shows I've ever seen in my life. Out of control. Both of them, and the rest of the guys, too. So I'm going to take a look at the song Out of Love, as I said, from Van Halen 2, because I think that is probably the song on that record that really highlights his playing. They have him playing almost big band-like fills the way due to the arrangement of the song, and the groove is really special. So let's get into it. So first I'll take a look at the main groove of the track. I'm really focused on how the hi-hat closes, like where it closes. And in this case, it closes from the open to close effect, it closes on the end of 2 and on 1. So if I pay attention to that, as far as the open close of the hi-hat's concerned, it keeps me anchored. Because otherwise, things are moving along quite quickly with the right hand, and it can get a little loosey-goosey if you're not careful. Here it is slow. So also make a note that he's really playing along with Eddie at that point, like the same groove. They're kind of playing together, that feel. And that's something that should be noted as well. Edward Van Halen is an amazing rhythm guitarist. People focus so much on his blistering guitar solos that sometimes the groove is overlooked. He was really in the pocket, you know? The next element is the way that Alex plays, almost like big band figures. You know, he noted that he was a fan of Buddy Rich, like many of us were, so I'm sure he was influenced by the way he played the big band and applied those, you know, rhythmic figures much in the same way. I'll just play the whole first time he does that at the pre-chorus and the chorus section. And here it is slow. Those fills are, you know, a version between quite rarefied or, you know, simpler to play and kind of challenging. Like this one. You know, sounds really awesome. Kind of reminds me of like Steve Gadd or something. You know, it has that kind of triplet feel to it. I don't know if he was influenced by that, but you know, that's a sound that he probably got from John Bonham. I would imagine that kind of feel. But he pulls it off, man. He like cuts your head off, right? The next section is his use of the six-stroke roll, the next element. And it's interesting because he hadn't really practiced rudiments a whole lot before Van Halen 2, which is kind of shocking considering how great he played on his debut record, you know, Van Halen. And yeah, he plays the six-stroke roll figure, which is very Motown-like, right? He plays that consistently, at least 3 times at the same place, compositionally, as he does throughout the piece. Sounds like this. Often it's at that part in the arrangement as well. I'll play it slow. Yeah, like I said, he's thinking very compositionally, placing many of the same fills in the same places throughout the arrangement. Thus, you know, leaning on his arrangement chops. Okay, the next element is his use of a quasi-linear fill that sounds like this, up to speed. And here it is slow. It has a linear feel to it when you play it, except for he supports the right hand with the bass drum on beat 1 and on beat 4. So it's not strictly linear, but it definitely feels like it. Like if you didn't play the bass drum there with the right hand, like in those spots, it would have that linear feel to it. Okay, the fourth element is the solo. Not the drum solo, the guitar solo, but I focused on the very soloistic groove that Alex plays to accompany the guitar solo. Now, if you take when you play it and take a look at it, he's really just embellishing the main groove itself, and it's up on the ride cymbal. So it has that fieriness that you hear, but it's more in control than it sounds. When I say control, I mean compositionally. His playing is definitely in control. Okay, sounds like this. Here it is slow. You can probably hear the main groove feel when it's slower. When it's slower, you can definitely feel the groove more. It doesn't seem quite as frenetic when you can hear all the notes are placed. Doesn't really feel that linear to me. It's like a little composition, but it's groove-based, groove-based. And lastly, I wanted to point out, although I've played this little thing before, that there is, of course, a 3/4 bar in there, or a bar 7, however you want to think of it. There's one beat missing. It's a 4-bar phrase plus a 3/4 bar. And he always plays this figure in it. What? That figure is in every spot where there's a 3/4 bar. So it's obviously something that he used compositionally to anchor everything. And it's something that's familiar. So it feels more accessible. It's a funny tune. This is a song that has kind of a prog rock feel to it, but it still has that pop rock attitude of the late 70s that was very familiar at that time with bands like Foreigner and REO Speedwagon and bands like that, and Rush, I guess. REO Speedwagon. Ooh, I don't know. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this video. If you like it, please like it and share it. Go to aubreydrumlessons.com for more drumming info and to book Zoom lessons with me. I'm doing Zoom lessons and having a blast doing them. You can also reach me on Instagram. And lastly, make sure to check out my Patreon page where I have lots of goodies for you if you become a member. So until next time, stay safe, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching my video. I'm really glad you did that. Subscribe and click here if you want more performance and lesson videos.